FJ Teller, I directed the DeSousa-Brent Scholars Program for the last 6 years. Welcome.
Hi everyone, my name is JP. I am the program coordinator for the DeSousa-Brent Scholars Program, and we're so excited to have you all here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jose Ballesteros. I'm the Associate Director of the DeSousa-Brent Program, and I'm a faculty member in International Languages and Cultures. And I'm very excited to see you all. And the last thing I'll say is I will be changing my name that you see on there. I'll be switching it to my email. So if you have any questions that you want to email direct me on the faculty side of things, you'll be able to get my email directly off of my name. Welcome.
How about Serenity Wolf?
Hello, my name is Serenity Wolf. I am a current senior. Well, this upcoming fall I will be a senior as well. I am currently a head bridge mentor for DeSousa-Brent, and hopefully I'll have an opportunity to talk more about what that means.
Barry?
Hi, everybody. I'm Barry Jenkins. I'm a sophomore and rising junior, and I'm going to be a Connect mentor as well.
And Joshua?
Hello, everyone. My name is Joshua. I'm a current sophomore. I'm a rising junior as well. I double major in econ and math, and I double minor in policy and business, and I'm a current SGA senator.
You're next, Fatima. You're muted.
Gotcha. Thanks, FJ. Hi, guys. My name is Fatima. I'm a rising junior. I am double majoring in public policy and Chinese with a minor in business, and I'm a part of the volleyball team at St. Mary's College of Maryland.
Again, we're welcoming you all here as well. Looking forward to talking to you about the DeSousa-Brent, or we call it DB, just so you know. So here DB and DeSousa-Brent used interchangeably. You know, DB has changed the lives of many students for about 14 years now. And so I want to tell you about the program itself, how it's designed, and how it can have an impact on your lives as well. So I'm going to share a slideshow with you right now. So hold on a little bit here, and I'll share that with you. And here we go. Again, you've met the three key players here, myself, Dr. Ballesteros, and JP. Now let me tell you a bit about what we do in our program and how it goes. So there's a lot of things about the idea of support, and support's important because every student in college comes here qualified. You've all worked hard, got decent grades, SAT scores, so all of you out there as well. But the most important factor that gets people to succeed in college and graduate on time is those who both ask for and receive help. Those are the ones who graduate on time and who thrive on our campus. It's really important to realize that. Now, keep thinking about the idea of going between high school and college is a huge jump. It's one little year. Think about going from the 5th grade to high school at one time. That's how big that jump can be from high school to college. If you don't ask for assistance and use that assistance along the way, you may not thrive the way you really want to. But here's the thing, not just support, it's both challenge and support. When you get with a new challenge to go along the way, and you rise to meet that challenge, that's when you learn, that's when you grow. And our program focuses on both challenge and support together. Once they're together, you cannot be stopped, and that's how it really works, okay? So, Dr. Ballesteros, tell me about how hard college really can be.
So college can be very, very hard. I've learned that through firsthand experience, first of all. I was one of the original creators of the program, and our program was really originally focused on two main things that are really important. Number one is to make sure that you have a really strong foothold kind of coming in, that you understand what the college experience is going to be like, that we have a support system for you, a mentorship system for you, that you already know some of the faculty, so that you begin to feel like you're part of the DB family, but also the bigger St. Mary's College of Maryland family as soon as possible. So I think that you'll hear a lot about the support system that we have for you all. But the thing that I'm most proud of about the program, and one of the things we do, is we understand the incredible experience, the incredible personal experience that many of you, all of you, are bringing into the college. And this goes all the way from an inner city student, an inner city Black or Latinx student, or a rural first generation student. You all are bringing experiences to the college in different types of knowledge and different ways of learning and knowing to the college that isn't typical, I would say, in the sense of what we consider traditional higher education. And that's incredibly important for the rest of our community. And it's really important that we continue to find ways to, the importance for me about diversity within the college is exactly that, is that we can bring people together from all these different areas of life, but in particular, what I'm really excited about always within the program is the type of student that we bring in brings these important perspectives that are the perspectives that the majority of the world lives in. The majority of the world is not a white middle class type of experience. It's a very different experience for that and in reality. And if we're gonna be able to solve the world's problems, what's really important is to hear that all those different voices kind of coming together. So what's something that's really exciting for me, and it's a challenge also, is that we make sure that we're giving you the necessary platform for you to confidently express the experiences and the knowledge that you're already bringing in, so that you can become a leader within both our community and then beyond St. Mary's.
So as Jose mentioned, there's lots of different backgrounds for students in our program. We are not one kind of homogeneous group on campus. And so we are a scholars program, which really means, right, a leader in education. A lot of times that kind of creates some misunderstanding about it being a scholarship program. And so we do, one of the students groups that we work with specifically is students who are eligible for Pell Grant and Pell Grant recipients. And so that funding comes separate from our program, right? But the traditional makeup of the DB program is students who are of first generation, Pell Grant recipients, ethnic minorities from different backgrounds, students with disabilities, students from rural or urban areas. And then, as we said, students with leadership potential and a commitment to service. Our program is a leadership program on campus. And so, yes, we're looking at these groups that are historically marginalized in higher education, right? People who are the first in their family, who are going to college, who want to make a difference, who want to make a change for their life, and they want to do something, right? They don't want to just go to college and be the first in their family to go to college, but they want to go to college for the whole experience and what that's going to give them, not just the going to class part. So what do I mean when I say not just the going to class part, right? So what does it mean to be in DB? These are some of our kind of key programmatic components, and I'll just kind of go over them quickly. If for those of you who have already accepted into the program and filled out your participation agreement, this will probably not be news to you, but we do a summer bridge program. I'll talk more about that in a second, which is historically coming on campus, getting your kind of feet wet of the college experience. We have a special core class sections that are highlighted for our students. So you're in them with only your peers, other DBs, kind of like-minded in theory individuals, but different backgrounds, as I said. There's a one-to-one mentorship component. So all our first year students are matched with a mentor in our program. And that's someone who's like really going to be there for you, like a big sibling or just like a really great friend mentor for you. We do social and educational programming. That is what my whole role is. There's a leadership project, which is a course, a 2-credit course in the spring. And then I mentioned that there isn't like direct financial support in the concept of a scholarship, but we do provide book and laptop support. So for our students who, money is really tight, we help with books when we can, and we do try to connect you all with laptops whenever possible. We're working on that right now, but for us, it's really important that we recognize how do we get you everything that you need to be a student, because if you're not thriving in the classroom, you're not going to thrive on campus.
Awesome. Answer a few questions that people often have about DeSousa-Brent too, about how mentoring works. Essentially, we're going to be assigning every incoming student to an upper class mentor. Who's been around for a couple of years and knows the drill, understands how to be successful, and has been a campus leader themselves for a year or more. They're going to always have your back. They'll meet you every couple of weeks during the course of this semester as a resource, help you connect with the campus. You know, even though St. Mary's is a small organization, it's actually very complex, and learning how to navigate that system, meeting faculty, support offices, and everything else takes some time and effort. But these folks help get through those processes with you and lower those barriers so you can get the most success you can out of the college.
So I'm going to talk to you a little bit very quickly about the core seminars that are being taught in the fall. You may or may not know this, but every one of our first year students has to register in a core seminar, and the core seminar really gives you your academic foundation. It's a study on a specific topic that gives you the academic skills for what you'll be doing in different classes at St. Mary's. And every student has to take a core seminar. And we have core seminars that are specially designed for DeSousa-Brent students that, in a way, bridge some of the gaps that you may feel you have, or help build assertiveness for you as far as the way that you're going to maneuver, as far as the skills that you need to maneuver academically, academic life on campus. I'm going to read you a list of some of the core seminars that we've offered in the past. And with that, I think you'll get an idea that the DB core seminars also tend to have a particular ethos to them. They tend to have a particular focus onto them, even though they're different seminars. And these things, you may be able to relate some of these. So these have included, for example, strategic nonviolence and civil disobedience in American culture, race and pop culture. There's a seminar called True Grit, the Art of Resilience, and a seminar that I've taught before called Writing for Social Change. So that gives you kind of an idea of some of the topics that we cover in these.
So as I said, as the program coordinator, my role is really to put on programs, events, and workshops for students. And so we have some kind of mix of fun social ones. So something that we do every year, like our traditional ice cream social to kind of kick off. Everyone looks forward to that. And then even something like mug decorating or bracelet making with an emphasis on identity. But then also some things that tend to be more meaningful, more discussion based, a little bit more serious. So things like talking about imposter syndrome, doing kind of financial literacy workshops so you can understand how to budget and how to, kind of plan for managing student loans and things of that nature. Really just identifying what are some things that our students need to put them ahead of the game, and what are they missing maybe in some of their personal and professional knowledge.
Awesome. And leadership projects are also a requirement of the program, but really more opportunity more than a requirement. It's a chance for you to test yourself by taking what you've learned and apply that to develop a project of your own design in the spring semester that fits your own interests and also your passions. We also, by the way, provide for that 2 academic credits for that as well. I'll give you 3 examples of previous projects. One was a panel discussion on college affordability. We had a student who actually brought in a state senator from Maryland, a state delegate, our college president, and the head of higher ed for all of Maryland to our campus to discuss how to make college more affordable. Awesome program. A couple years later, we had a number of students who said, there's no track team here. How do we address that? And those 3 students literally formed a track club. They got funding from athletics and student government for uniforms, travel, coaches, equipment, and conference fees. And it was so well perceived. Now the college is forming its own official NCAA track team this spring of 2021. But that came from a DeSousa-Brent leadership project. Very, very impressive. And the last one was one of our students you'll meet today, actually, really believed that her school district did not prepare her as best it should for the kind of diverse world we're looking into, the workforce. So her project was to design and work on getting diversity training done for her entire school district in Carroll County. It's not done yet, but because of that design, she's now presented 3 times at statewide meetings about the importance of diversity and inclusion in high school settings. So it's been really remarkable what's happened with our project over the last few years, but it's a chance for you to take your passion and run with that and create something really unique and positive as well. I'm going to take it back to Jordan now, who will help introduce our student panelists and have that part of the portion go as well. So Jordan, where are you?
I am right here.
Awesome, awesome.
So we have some incredible people here with us today. You get to kind of hear from them and about their campus experience. So we can go ahead and get started. And the first person that we have is Joshua. So Joshua, you want to talk a little bit about yourself?
Of course. Hello, everyone. My name is Joshua. I'm a double major in economics and math, double minor in policy law and business. I'm a SJ senator right now. I'm also the SJ vice president-elect, which means next school year I'm going to be the SJ vice president. So for those of you who might be interested in SGA, we're going to be working a lot in the future. And also I'm the founder/president of a society called the Young Queensland Society. It's a foreign policy society, and the goal of the society is pretty much, to cultivate young leaders. And now we can have like the or less violent solutions to all problems. So the goal of the society is kind of like, how the United States can be involved in the world without resorting to military option every single time. And my goal post-graduation is to go to law school because I want to go into corporate litigations. Thank you.
Yeah, so some of you will see Josh in class, hopefully in the future. So that's exciting. And then we also have Fatima.
Hi guys. As listed, I'm a double major of public policy and Chinese with a minor in business. On campus, I am currently the student trustee in training. So next year I will be the student trustee, which means that I'm someone who works with the board of trustees who I would say kind of run the whole thing at our school. They're the ones that kind of pass the laws and regulations for our school. So I'll be able to work with them. I'm also part of the volleyball team, and they're a really fun group of girls. Being a part of athletics, it's a lot of fun. And being able to do athletics while also being part of the DB family is something that I truly cherish. And also being a DB core mentor, because I get to meet you guys, and being in the classes with you, I get to have more one-on-one connections and get to see how you guys think, and it's a really fun experience.
All right, and the one and only Barry. Barry, can you introduce yourself?
How y'all doing? Barry Jenkins. Yeah, as we can see, I'm a sociology major, and I actually was a BSU vice president. I'm going to be taking probably about a semester to a year off, but I'm also a DB Connect mentor. So yeah, I've actually been waiting for Bridge to get my opportunity to actually get into being a mentor, just because I do some side work with kids at one of the local elementary schools near the school. So I don't know, I'm very excited about Bridge and interacting with you all.
And last but not least, Serenity.
Hi, everyone. As Jordan has said, and as you can see on the screen, my name's Serenity Wolf. I technically am a senior, but I am in my only my junior/third year of college, but DB has actually given me the opportunity to graduate just a little bit early in this fall. I am an environmental studies major and an English minor. I'm involved in a lot of things on campus, but what I really am most involved in is the DeSousa-Brent program, the one-on-one mentor thing that JP mentioned earlier. I have been a part of that as long as I possibly could be because I'm super passionate about it. And just in general, I mean, I am the DB kind of lover, so get used to seeing my face a lot if you are looking forward to joining DB.
Awesome, thank you so much. So feel free to reach out to anyone who's on the panel. These are some great connections to have, and they can give you more insight into what it means to really be a part of DB. I have a few questions that I want to ask some of the hosts here. And I want to get some insight into what it means to be a part of the DB community. So the first question is, what does it mean to be in this community, and how is that impactful, especially in the context of being at St. Mary's?
So for me personally, being a part of the DB community means having like a family away from home. You have such a strong support system when you become a part of the DeSousa-Brent family. And even though you might not be best of friends with everyone in your cohort, you still have connections with everybody because you're a part of a system that's really about supporting one another and watching each other blossom and being these amazing leaders on campus. It also means being a role model because we are leaders on campus. People do, I guess, like look up to us because we are leaders. Like a lot of us take up leadership roles and positions, and because of that, we run things around St. Mary. So it's a fun thing to be a part of. And not only that, you don't just get a bunch of new family members on campus. You also get FJ and JP, who are a really strong, once again, support system, who are there to help you academically, emotionally even, and to help you throughout your pursuit in college and help you get through it. And it's just been a really fun journey for me personally. A quick little anecdote. I had a pretty severe injury in my first year at college due to volleyball. And having that DB community really got me to push through my first year because I really thought I wasn't going to make it. I was thinking about taking a semester off or something like that. But they were there for me the whole time. And having them there whilst being in pain or like not wanting to get my work done was something that is really important to me, and I cherish that to this day.
For me personally, DB, like going back to what Fatima said, it's a family to me. Well, even going further, for me, it's like a place whereby, you have people with the same mindset as you. Like the saying that goes, love equally distributes talents, but no, it doesn't distribute opportunities equally. And DB, the very foundations of DB is a place whereby underrepresented people from different factions of life could all come together and have the right opportunities to excel academically and even beyond academics. So for me, DB, it's a place whereby, it's a place whereby, I have people with a similar, even though the same situation as I am currently, and also people willing to be the best version of themselves. And also, even going further, like I said, DB is also a place whereby, going back to what Fatima said, a place where I can just go, I have FJ, I have JP, I have people who can literally relate to on a personal level. A place whereby everyone is willing to listen to you and not just not just talk above you. A place whereby you're free to express yourself, and like that. Well, that's like one of the reasons why DB means so much to me, because I'm allowed to be myself. I don't have to I don't have this false bravado or anything. It's just a place whereby I can't be Joshua and not be anyone else and just be myself pretty much. And it varies from person to person. For me personally, this is the reason why. And trust me, if you ask, the other DB students, they have different reasons why, DB means a lot to them and why DB is a great community.
All right, so the next question is for Serenity and Barry. How has being a part of the DB program impacted your college experience? Could you share a little bit about that with the new class?
Yeah, so personally, I can't separate my college experience from the DeSousa-Brent Scholars Program. The DB program has made me a lot of who I am. Just to add on to what Fatima and Joshua had just said is that it's a community, but it's not just the type of community that is, there when you want it to be or there when it wants to be. It's a consistent community that is constantly just wrapping you in their arms, and that is so important to me because without the DB Scholars Program, I don't know who I would be as a college student, especially as a first generation college student. There were many times where, just for a little anecdote, I remember early in my first semester of college, I sat outside of my dorm room, calling my parents, just bawling my eyes out, saying I'm not cut out for this. So many people have these advantages because they have family members who went to school. And, my dad had simply just said, well, you know, why don't you just go give a talk to FJ? And that's exactly what I did. And I'm telling you, that support that I needed was there. And although it may seem really simple, and as it was one moment of a whole college experience, that phone call where I bawled my eyes out, and that conversation that I had with FJ, you know, that made me really realize that DB, it helps me be who I am as a college student.
Oh my goodness.
I think for me, it was more that it allowed me to feel comfortable being in a foreign environment. Just from coming from Baltimore, where I'm 2.5 hours away, and not having any type of transportation on my own to actually get back home. I was very uncomfortable just because it's a foreign environment. I only knew about one person that was actually on campus. And so I felt like I was alone. I approached it in kind of a negative manner. Like I didn't really want to interact with anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was just like, I'm gonna just do my time and then I'll go back home and then just get it over with. But as time went on in Bridge, I started to feel more comfortable. I started to feel more open. More people started to come up to me and kind of like push me to talk. And then it allowed me to feel like I was a part of an environment that was okay with me being who I am. And so as time went on, I gained closer relationships with these people. Like one of my friends who's also in DB, I live with him now. And he's like probably one of my closest friends, if not a brother to me, because he allowed me to feel comfortable, as well as the entirety of DB. They allowed me to feel like this is a place that I belonged at. This is a place that I could feel comfortable in without having to compromise my own identity to feel like I belong somewhere.
That's powerful. Thank you for that. And Serenity, I'm going to go back to you now. Would you mind sharing with us some of the opportunities that you've had as a result of being a part of the DB program?
Yeah, of course. So as FJ mentioned earlier, the leadership project that you are required to do during your spring semester, and I want to say I'm doing the air quotes because it is a requirement, but like FJ said, it is an amazing opportunity. I was very just kind of shocked that Carroll County Public Schools was able to provide me with such an academic advantage, a career readiness advantage, but I just really was not hip to the world outside of Carroll County, and I felt like that was a problem. So the leadership project gave me an opportunity to reach out to some of the supervisors on the Carroll County Board of Education, and in that I have been able to speak at multiple statewide expos. There's the Carroll County Culture Expo, which I've spoke at twice. I've done some presentations and workshops there. I've also spoke at the Maryland Multicultural Coalition, where I did a workshop on the importance of intersectionality, really just owning your identity and who you are. That's pretty much what came from my leadership project opportunities, but also the fact that I'm a DB scholar in general has just given me some opportunities. For example, last spring, I applied for a program that's called the Washington Program on our college, and the Washington Program had reached out to DB and said, hey, like, are there some students who are interested in this? And I was interested in having an internship in Washington, D.C., and I was actually able to have a paid internship at the National Education Association, working in the Center for Advocacy. Along with that, it just led me to have the opportunity to be published in an article in the Washington Post, just talking about why I'm commuting to DC from a very rural part. It was a round trip 4-hour commute, and so my point to that is, it's not just projects, it's not just community, it's not just support. I've also been able to have the opportunity to connect with people in the professional world and start networking, so that when it does come time for me to move on from college and become someone in that professional atmosphere, I already have the foundations and the stepping stones that I need.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So the next question is for Josh. I got a curveball for you. Okay. So can you tell us of a time where you were challenged in DB and how you kind of grew from that experience, and give us some insight into that growth that you experienced?
Of course, just like Barry and Serenity, and also probably Fatima had the same experience too, freshman year, you literally going from high school to college. It's a totally different ball game. It's a totally different experience. So for me personally, like freshman year, literally I was kind of like closed off than I am today. I didn't have friends or anything. Not like it was the opportunity to have friends wasn't there. Like I find it really difficult to like open up to a lot of people, to open up to a lot of my mates and my peers, and to kind of like to relate. So I was kind of like closed off in a way, and I literally just go to like JP and FJ's office every single time because I was like, I just didn't understand the value having a friend could actually bring, being in college. So, I literally reached out to JP, and JP was like, Josh, you can't keep doing this, your entire stay at college. You have to like make new friends, meet new people, because you can also grow from that. And at first, honestly, I was stubborn. Like I wasn't having it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like I was like, I'll pass on that. But really, like when I saw, I started like, seeing like people off the team, Serenity, and Barry, and other DB students, like they come to FJ's office, they come to JP's office, and they kind of like just jovial, just having fun, just opening up and like not afraid to mingle with everyone. And I was like, there might be some ounce of truth to this then at least. So I was like, why not, like, might as well just try it out. So from there, I started like talking to people I don't know, reaching out, just being open and more like open than I used to be normally. And from there, like I started making new friends, started like learning more about other people. And overall, it has really changed my life greatly, because I went from like a guy that's kind of like reserved, closed off, to like a guy just kind of like a jovial guy, was not like afraid, was not shy to like, talk to new people. Like it's just kind of like, it's just kind of lessons like I might have been able to learn early if I wasn't in DB. And I thank JP for that, I thank FJ for that, and I also thank my fellow DBs for that, because like I said, like I went from someone who barely talks to anyone, not because I don't know how to, I just don't, I don't have the incline to like do that, going from someone who don't talk to other people. So like someone was just open, wasn't afraid to just be, to have fun, make friends, just joke about anything, and that's one of the, that was one big challenge. And like through the resources, like the human resources, like JP and FJ, I've been able to like grow and mature from being like, the close guy to being just the open guy, or jovial guy, who's willing to like make friends with anyone at any time. So I've really like, seen a drastic improvement in my personal life, which is really overall like consequently affecting my professional life, because I'm in a lot of leadership positions on campus, and being in those positions, you have to be able to like talk to people, you have to be able to like be open to people, be able to like make friends pretty much. And the lesson I learned from being DB is actually really, really helped me, my daily encounters with other people as well.
Thank you so much. And before we get to the question and answer portion, feel free to drop any questions that you have inside of the chat. We will really appreciate that. But we have the $1 million question, and that is going to go to Barry. Barry, can you tell us one bit of advice that you would give an incoming DB student who might be interested in being here this fall?
I think the most important advice that I could give would be, don't be too cool to participate. Sitting in your own bubble, it's only effective for so long, just because you kind of like, you sit in that bubble and you kind of see everything going on around you, but you start to feel a little bit excluded, because deep down that you want to participate in these things, but we always have that wall built up to where we don't want to appear like any type of like weird, or we don't want to like look crazy in front of other people. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is just being comfortable in looking crazy, like actually wanting to participate, getting involved in things. because that just makes your experience more enjoyable over time. Like, you don't want to just sit in your dorm room every day because you don't want to go to a DB event, or like you just don't want to like go out to a party, or just go to the great room with some friends. Like, actively choose to better your own experience by feeling comfortable, getting out there and just making the most of everything, and not trying to maintain that wall that you've built up to create your own view of how the experience will be. Experience it for yourself, and be happy that you made the active choice to experience something.
Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. So thank you so much, everyone. We have some great questions that are in the chat. So I am going to go ahead and read those out, and then someone from the DB staff will answer. So the first question that we have here is, are we still going to have a summer bridge program?
Well, there'll be something happening in summertime. In the traditional bridge program, because of our scheduling, because of Maryland laws right now, we can't be on campus that same time. We are planning with our faculty to put together some academic experiences that will actually engage you in a variety of areas, maybe in philosophy or the sciences, in the July timeframe. So we'll have some things happening that way, more online and virtual, which we'll work on the next few weeks and let you know about that as well too. And then right before school begins in the fall, before orientation, about a 3-day program on campus before everybody else comes back. So you have your head start in that first part before school begins. Plus before that, you'll have a program of some virtual things happening all during the summertime.
Awesome. Yeah, we hope that everyone gets back to normal soon. We're all able to get through this, but we are moving ahead. And the next question that we have is it difficult to manage your workload along with the leadership project?
That's definitely a student question for sure.
Yeah.
I can take this one. I would say no. Overall, generally no. Something that JP likes to remind us when a lot of us come in the office and we're like, oh my God, I'm taking these classes next semester. It's going to be so hard. She likes to remind us that, our college experience is scaffolded, meaning that everything that you do up until the point to where you do something that you're nervous about is preparing you for that moment. And so your first semester of college, you don't have the leadership project, but you do have that support from DB through study groups, from your mentor. And then once you get into to the spring, you're more into the swing of things with school. And you also, during your leadership project, will still have mentors that are specifically designated for your leadership project. Your leadership project is usually done in groups, so you have other people to lean on. And by that time, hopefully you've really developed a lot of time management skills as well.
Awesome. The next question is, does the core class take up the spot of another potential class?
Yeah, so if Jose wants to talk about that, that would be great. But essentially, every single first-year student or transfer student, as part of our liberal arts curriculum, will take a core class, either Core 101 or Core 301. So Jose, if you want to elaborate on what that looks like.
Yeah, so like JP said, everybody that's coming into the college has to take a core class, and basically what students do is they choose the core class that they can take. And what we've decided within the DeSousa-Brent program is to present the DB scholars. There's some common threads that our core courses have, and there's some common goals that we want you all to reach. And so we have also a variety of courses within DB that you can take for your course. So you have to take the DB core, but there's a lot of variety within the core for the DB core for you to choose. And I'd like to talk a little bit about the leadership program just very quickly. And one of the reasons that I love the DB program and why I think it's yes, I think it is an additional thing that you have to do your first year. And I think that one of the things we're doing, I think it's a very important part of creating leadership within our students for the college experience. And it's almost like learning to ride a bike when you're really young, right? Which you'd rather, or whatever it is that you may have learned while you were really young and you're happy that you know how to do now. Because this means doing a leadership program where you're doing college programming, whether it's outside of the college or within the college your first year, means that you will get all of that training and learn all of that stuff your first year, so that when you want to continue doing college programming, whether it be your sophomore, your junior, or definitely your senior year, you will have already had experience at the college in, you know, booking a room, creating flyers, et cetera, et cetera. So it will take a little bit of time, but at the same time, it really prepares you well to continue to have that type of leadership role. And your growing pains won't be that much harder, say your junior year, your senior year. You've already gone through that experience.
Mhm.
That's the reason why people like Fatima and Serenity and Barry and also Joshua are now applying those same exact skills to their jobs that they have right now as trustee, as SGA VP. Know how to get things done, what offices to go to, those campus resources that many students don't find until later on. You'll find it in your first year, which is great.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. So being like a former, student and also being a part of DB, I think one of the most impactful things was learning the difference between, the questions that you may ask your high school teacher and then the question you may ask your college professor, and having that relationship and learning how to know the right questions to ask to be successful was a huge impact for me in growing when I was at St. Mary's. So that was a long time ago, and it was definitely a big reality change for me, but it was impactful nonetheless. So we actually have a very important question in the chat, and it's not one that we can ignore, but the question is, do you anticipate returning to campus this fall? So this is something that a ton of students are thinking about right now. Yes, we are planning on returning to campus this fall, and hopefully it will be business as usual. However, if things do not turn back to normal, and if we don't return to campus this fall, plans are being made to kind of prepare for that. So one thing that I do want students to know is that you will absolutely be the first to know if a bigger decision has happened. Everyone that is here today absolutely wants to get back to campus. I am sure of that. Being inside of your house is only fun for so long. But we are planning on coming back to campus this fall. And if things don't turn out that way, we will let you know what the plan will be. So one thing that you can absolutely know that and look forward to is, even if our classes do go online, you will still have virtual experiences with your professors. So it won't be the same as submitting a form. You still get to have those opportunities to build those relationships. So great question, great question.
And one reason for us to do our virtual thing this summertime for Summer Bridge is to have the same experience to prepare for that. So you have the facility, how to use the tools we have as well, so you'll be even better prepared for anything that happens in the fall. You'll be ready for that as well from our preparation.
And no matter what the fall looks like, we are adaptable and we are resilient, and we will change and grow and do whatever we need to do to make sure that you are all as prepared as possible when you finally do come to campus, whether that's fall, spring, what have you. So know that, as we keep saying within DB, like, we got you. So just like put your trust in us, and we will make sure that we can give you whatever experiences we can in any way that we can, because this community is important, and your cohort, you're going to still continue to make it thrive.
All right, FJ, I'm handing it off to you. Thank you everyone for listening, and we will go ahead and wrap this all up. I believe FJ has some closing points that he would like to make.
Just a few things. We've had over the last 14 years, recruited and graduated hundreds of DB scholars who graduated and gone on to do some great things here and beyond. Every college grad should look back and go, wow, that did a lot in those 4 years. Because of our challenge and support system, our community of support on you as well, we look back and go, I'm amazed by what's happened in those 4 years. Students tell me all the time as I graduate, I didn't think I could do that. And I say every single time to them, I knew all along you could do this. It was always what we knew. We saw it in you from the beginning. It was never an opportunity to say no. You have it for sure. We're going to challenge you. We're going to rise to every challenge we give to you as well. And that's why we have student trustees and people who are in the Washington program as well. That community supports around you forever. It's DB for life. So I'd like you to think about that too for yourselves and realize the opportunities for DeSousa-Brent for you open up a wide vista of possibility for you too. So please join us. Understand that you're all in the program now in theory, but you have to go to the link on the letter you got in the email, click on that and fill the form out to be fully in DeSousa-Brent. So please do that. We'd love to have you join us. Thanks for being here today.
Awesome. So thank you so much, panelists. This was great. I appreciate you all being here today. Feel free to drop your email addresses inside of the chat. And students who are here, participants, feel free to reach out to us if there's anything that you may need. We are very excited to have you all attend St. Mary's this fall. But thank you so much for taking the time to be here. And if there's anything else that you need, we're more than happy to answer those questions.
Thanks, folks. Off we go.